This is an overview of our systemsarchitect.io guide on 12 AWS Key Management Service, KMS Microstacks. Subscribe to the channel and like this video for more cloud tips. A microstack is a reusable combination of two or several cloud services. Who actually holds the key to your data, and what happens the day that question matters? AWS Key Management Service, or KMS, is the layer other AWS services lean on to answer it, centralizing how encryption keys get created, rotated, and controlled. When the surrounding architecture is solid, sensitive data stays protected even if a downstream system is compromised, with every key usage leaving a verifiable trail. When it isn't, a loose key policy or a missing audit trail is enough to turn a routine breach into a regulatory incident. In this video, we walk through 12 microstacks for AWS KMS. These are proven service combinations and architecture patterns. We'll see how KMS pairs with storage, compute, databases, and monitoring to deliver encryption that's both strong and practical. 1. Combine S3 and CloudTrail with KMS for auditable encrypted object storage. Encryption alone does not tell you who accessed a file or when. S3 buckets use KMS keys to encrypt every object. CloudTrail logs every KMS and S3 operation into a durable, queryable trail. Together, they turn a bucket into a fully auditable vault. A responder can reconstruct exactly what was touched and which key protected it. This fits documents, financial records, or healthcare data under HIPAA USA or PCI DSS compliance. A dedicated CloudTrail trail scoped KMS usage keeps that activity easy to isolate. 2. Pair Secrets Manager with Lambda for automated encrypted credential rotation. Hard-coded passwords and API keys are a common way credentials leak into source code. Secrets Manager stores credentials encrypted with a KMS key, and Lambda retrieves and decrypts them securely at runtime. Why does this matter for credential security? This automates what used to be manual, error-prone credential rotation for databases and third-party API keys. A solid strategy is using Secrets Manager's built-in rotation templates for RDS and Aurora. These already wire up the Lambda function correctly. 3. Encrypt EBS volumes on EC2 for transparent at-rest protection. Block storage is easy to overlook since its encryption happens beneath the operating system. KMS manages the keys behind EBS volume encryption, so every write and every snapshot is protected automatically. Applications interact with an encrypted volume exactly like an unencrypted one. KMS handles key generation and decryption behind the scenes. This is foundational in regulated industries. Enable account-level default EBS encryption so no new volume ever slips through unprotected. 4. Layer CloudWatch onto KMS encrypted DynamoDB for observable NoSQL security. Encrypting a database says nothing about whether that protection is actually working as expected. KMS encrypts DynamoDB tables at rest. CloudWatch tracks the encryption operations and access patterns hitting the table. Why pair CloudWatch with KMS here? KMS guarantees the data stays unreadable without authorization. CloudWatch confirms the system is behaving and flags anomalies early. It suits session data, user profiles, or IoT device state. Set alarms on unusual KMS decrypt call volume for the table's key. This video is a condensed version of what we have on systemsarchitect.io. See the full section there. Also, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more, and check the video notes for links. 5. Combine RDS with IAM for access-controlled encrypted databases. Relational databases holding personal or financial data need more than encryption on disk. KMS encrypts the RDS storage, backups, and read replicas. IAM controls who can manage or connect to the database itself. This layered model separates data protection from access control, so a bad application permission does not expose encrypted data by itself. It's essential wherever encryption at rest is a baseline requirement. Enable IAM database authentication where supported to drop long-lived database passwords entirely. 6. Trigger Lambda on KMS encrypted S3 objects for monitored event processing. Processing files as they arrive raises a real question. Does the pipeline keep the same encryption guarantees as the storage it reads from? Lambda functions trigger on KMS encrypted S3 objects. Each function needs explicit KMS permissions to decrypt what it's processing. CloudWatch then monitors the whole workflow from the trigger through execution to any downstream writes. It suits secure document processing or media transcoding. Scope the Lambda role's KMS permissions to only the trigger bucket's key. 7. Route SNS messages through SQS and Lambda for end-to-end encrypted messaging. Message-based architectures move data between decoupled parts, and it's easy to forget encryption in an intermediate queue. KMS encrypts messages across SNS topics and the SQS queues that subscribe to them. Lambda consumers then decrypt messages as they're pulled off the queue. What makes this end-to-end? This delivers genuine end-to-end encryption across a multi-hop, asynchronous architecture rather than just protecting storage. It's ideal for decoupled, event-driven systems. Share one KMS key across the topic in its queues so rotation stays centrally managed. 8. Build a serverless API with API Gateway, Lambda, and DynamoDB for encrypted data access. Serverless simplicity can tempt teams into skipping encryption decisions a traditional architecture would make obvious. API Gateway routes requests to Lambda functions that read and write a DynamoDB table. KMS encrypts at rest. Those functions meet explicit KMS decrypt permissions, enforcing least privilege at the compute layer rather than leaving it implicit. This produces a secure, serverless backend where request routing, business logic, and data storage each stay within clear security boundaries. Pair it with API Gateway request validation and throttling so the storage layer's protection isn't undermined. 9. Run ECS containers against RDS with Secrets Manager for secure containerized data access. Ephemeral, auto-scaled containers make distributing database credentials safely a distinct challenge. ECS containers pull credentials from Secrets Manager at startup instead of baking them into an image. Those secrets are themselves KMS encrypted. The RDS database they unlock is likewise KMS encrypted, so the whole chain stays protected end to end. It fits microservices where each service needs its own rotating credential. Scope task level IAM roles to only the specific secret each service needs. 10. Query encrypted S3 data with Athena and QuickSight for auditable analytics. Analytics tools often need broad read access, which can sit in tension with tightly controlling that same data. Athena queries KMS encrypted S3 data directly and needs explicit decrypt permission on the key. QuickSight then visualizes the results. Why bother encrypting analytics data? CloudTrail logs every KMS decrypt call these services make. That gives a full record of what was touched and when. It suits compliance-heavy analytics in healthcare or finance. Apply column or row-level filtering ahead of Athena, so analysts only see what their role needs. 11. Stream Kinesis data through Lambda to S3 for encrypted real-time processing. Real-time streams often carry sensitive data the moment they're generated, so encryption needs to start at ingestion. Kinesis encrypts stream data with a KMS key from the moment a producer writes a record. Lambda then decrypts, transforms, and writes results to S3, where KMS protects them again at rest. CloudWatch monitors throughput and errors across the whole pipeline, catching back pressure before it becomes a failure. It's built for log processing IoT data or transaction streams. Enable enhanced fan-out when multiple Lambda consumers read the same stream. 12. Shield EKS workloads with Secrets Manager and Guard Duty for threat-monitored container security. Kubernetes clusters bring their own surface area since secrets need to reach pods securely and the cluster itself needs active monitoring. EKS pulls secrets from Secrets Manager instead of native Kubernetes secrets, which are only base 64 encoded rather than properly encrypted. Those values are KMS protected at rest. Guard Duty adds threat detection for the cluster, watching for anomalous API calls or suspicious process activity inside running containers. CloudWatch aggregates the logs and findings centrally. Route Guard Duty EKS findings into fast alerting since container attacks can move quickly. Thanks for checking out this video, and like the video and subscribe to this channel. Find a lot more articles and guides on both systemsarchitect.io and codeguides.io. Again, that's systemsarchitect.io and codeguides.io.